What's your age?
34.
And are you single?
Well, I have a relationship, I have a girlfriend, but, you know, it's open on my end.
So, how does a man get a woman to commit to him while he's still pursuing other women?
It's not easy. Number one, you gotta be on point. You gotta have your money on point, you gotta have your frame on point. You obviously have to be honest up front. I was up front with my girl. I told her, look, I'm not gonna be monogamous. I don't believe in monogamy. I think it's a lie. It's a scam. Most guys that get involved in it, you know, always end up regressing, going back to being polygamous, whether they do it overtly or covertly. And I was just very honest up front. And obviously I take care of her as well. I think that's very important. You know, you have your masculine burden and performance, and you have to be that guy where you're that dude, you know what I mean? You got to take care of her and fulfill her in all different types of ways. Financially, emotionally, be her leader, etc.
But you're in your 30s now.
Yeah.
At what point in your life did you discover that monogamy wasn't for you?
Man, I've noticed this in my 20s, since being in college, but actually saying, all right, I'm gonna like go into this and like exercise that polygamy like within a relationship. I didn't really do it until my 30s because I understood that for you to be able to pull this off, you have to have your stuff together. You can't be a bum, can't be a loser saying, oh, I wanna have multiple girls. She's gonna look at you crazy. So if you're gonna go ahead and get that perk, because it is a perk, it's a privilege, you need to earn it. You need to earn it by being that dude.
For men going through breakups, how would you recommend they get their ex back?
Don't do it. Not worth it. She's your ex for a reason. I think this is a big mistake that a lot of guys make where they want to take their ex back. But if she broke up with you, good. Make it her embarrassment that she fucked up by leaving you.
But what about those on and off relationships where there might be some doubts, we have a connection, but I don't know if it will work out?
Nah, man. Like, this is the thing. If a girl breaks up with you, it's over, bro. Like, she's probably already either cheated on you, found another guy. There's so many different things that come into play. If a girl breaks up with you, man, it's a wrap. It's your job now to make her embarrassed and regret that. That's how I look at it. Make her regret breaking up with you. But don't sit there and be like, please, no, take me back, or this other bullshit, man. Fuck these bitches. Like, honestly, I want guys to like have this abundance mindset where if she breaks up with you, you don't even care. Because the issue is, if you try to get her back, you're operating from a scarcity mindset. If you operate from a scarcity mindset, you already lost. Like, I need guys to understand that women have a natural abundance mindset. Women always feel like they can do better. They always feel like they have your replacement ready to go. They're always got like almost 1 foot in, 1 foot out, right? Unless you really got your shit together, then she's all in with you. But most girls, when they're dating their boyfriend or they have their guy, they're already looking at, most girls, I think they polled women and they found like over 50% of women, married women, have a backup guy. So if your girl actually has the gall to break up with you and leave you, it's your job to make her fucking regret that shit.
What would you say the problem is with modern dating?
Couple of things. From which end? Do you want me to explain from the male perspective or the female perspective?
The long and the short of both.
Okay. From the male perspective, it's not adhering to your masculine duties, right? Like guys think that men and women are equal. That's a big mistake. We are not equal. You are superior to her in every single way, and you need to remind her that all the time, right? Like guys need to understand that men and women are not equal, and as a guy, it's your job to be superior to her in every way. Now, I know some feminists might be watching this saying, oh, that's fucked up. But then ask yourself, you stupid bimbo, do you want a guy that's taller than you? You want a guy that makes more money than you? Want a guy that's more successful than you? Want a guy that's smarter than you? Oh, if the answer is yes to any of that, guess what? You don't want an equal, you want a superior. Now, that's what women want, right? So guys need to understand that's your job. You're not there to be an equal to her. You're there to be superior to her, to be her leader.
But
now,
why?
But Frank, sit, stay.
But why is it that women preach equality even though that may not be the reality to you?
Because they're stupid. And this is what I mean when I say that, you know, women will say one thing, right? That they want one thing, but they'll actually be attracted and aroused by something else. They don't really know or understand how to properly, how do I say this? Yeah. Sorry. I can
yeah. It's all good, bro. Totally yeah. we can run again. We can run again.
Do it again.
All right. That was funny as fuck, though.
See, bro, like, excuse me, we're filming here.
Huh?
We're filming here. You see what I mean? Like, just completely rude.
I mean, like, well, how am I supposed to know?
There's literally a light right there and a camera.
Sorry, what are you filming? What's happening?
That doesn't matter. Just please get out the shot. Frank, come here. Frank, come here. Sit. You're being rude by walking in the shot.
I'm not being rude. I haven't
Yes, you are. You literally, you see it right here, and you're being rude.
Ask me to leave.
Leave. Like, it should be implied. Get out of the way. The fuck? Incredible.
What the fuck? Like, learn some manners.
You learn some manners.
You learn some manners.
Incredible.
Public area.
Well, you walked in the way. See, you know what? That perfectly explains what I mean, right? So, was the camera rolling the whole time? Dude, see, that's what I'm trying to say. See, a man wouldn't do that. Only a woman would do something stupid like that. Why? Because she thinks that we're gonna sit there and be like, ha ha ha, it's okay. She thinks it's okay. It's not okay. But this is what I mean when I say like women just don't have a general respect for men, for other people. They just think, I'm here in a red dress, I'm hot, I can do whatever I want. That entitlement is fucking ridiculous, right? Versus like other people, they don't have that same level. We've seen a bunch of guys walk by, nobody's doing that dumb shit. Only her comes, walks in, clearly sees that we're filming, but you know, acts like a bitch for no reason. Right? And I'm like, dude, like we're implied. And then we said, hey, we're filming. And what does she do? Instead of saying, I'm sorry, she goes, ha, like to be funny. It's not funny. It's not cool. It's fucked up. But that is the entitlement that modern day women have. So on the female side, why dating sucks for them is their expectations are too high. Every woman thinks that she deserves a guy that's like 6 foot, 100K plus per year, good looking, charming, you know, funny. And the reality is like most women, number one, there's not enough of these guys to go around. They're like 1% of the population. And then number two, you don't qualify for them, bitch. Like, let's just be honest, like most of you women don't even qualify for an average guy, right? The issue is that average women don't want average men. And average women think they deserve men that are well above average. And it's just not gonna work. Most of you ladies don't qualify for the man that you think you qualify for. Sorry.
But why do women use hypergamy to their advantage?
So hypergamy is almost a double-edged sword for them, right? Because thanks to social media and the internet, it's made their hypergamy almost be untethered, right? We used to have things in place to contain hypergamy: religion, shame, the family. All of these things are effectively gone. I call it like the training wheels of society, where we would keep women in place through shame, religion, family, tradition. Now that these things are gone, women could do whatever the hell they want to do. And when you leave women to their own devices, guess what happens? A woman without instruction is headed for destruction. And that's why we have so many single women that can't get married, that we're not having families. The nuclear family is pretty much gone thanks to feminism. So that's what happens when you just allow hypergamy to rear its ugly head the way it's been. And if you look at societies, whether it's different cultures, different societies, different religions, etc., they've all done things to put hypergamy in check. But now these things are gone. And that's kind of where we have this deregulated sexual marketplace now, where things are more fucked up and relationships are fucked up and the nuclear family is dying and all these issues.
At what point in a man's life would you recommend that he starts to pursue a serious relationship?
Ooh, okay, so this is very controversial. But what I always say is a couple of things you want to have in place. 30 years old, bare minimum, making 100K per year, 6 months to 1 year of savings, be in shape, and then the one that always gets people pissed off is have 50 girls or more lay count. Now the reason for that is because when you have these things in place, you're what I would consider like entry-level, higher status or high-value male. Higher, I hate to use that term, but we'll just use it as a placeholder for the purpose of this video. You're entry-level, higher-value male.
But do you think that the woman watching would agree with what you're saying now?
Well, it doesn't really matter what they think because women don't really understand what it takes to be a man, right? I always look at women. Women are just consumers. They don't understand what it takes to be a man, what it takes to be attractive as a man. If we pulled any of these girls aside and said, hey, if you were a man, what would you do to be attractive? They'll probably give you some generic advice, or worse yet, if we told them, hey, walk up to that girl and pretend to be a guy and pull her. She won't know what to say because women just enjoy the end product. They don't know what it takes to make the product, right? You go into a pizza store, right? There's North Italia right there. You go get their margherita pizza. You might eat it and be like, damn, this is some good pizza. But what you don't know what the pizza guy in the back had to do to make it taste that way. He had to spin the dough a certain way. He had to put cheese on it. He had to put certain oils on it, whatever it may be, to make it taste a certain way, right? Like, you just enjoy the end product, but you don't know what it took to make that pizza. Women are the same exact way.
But would you say that men understand what it takes to be attractive as a woman?
Yeah, for sure. And I'll tell you why. So the burden of performance is on us. If we want to get a girl, we have to do all the work. So we have to actually understand women to attract them. But women don't have to understand men to attract them. And that's the disconnect. And this is something that, I've come to realize from interviewing, almost 3,000 women on my show, is that not only do women not know what it takes to be attractive to men or to care what men want, because they've said this a million times, well, what do men want? They know the generic stuff, but they don't really know the deep stuff. We, on the other hand, have to understand women to attract them. Because if we don't understand women, well, guess what? We don't get laid. We don't get access to sexuality. We don't get a girlfriend. right? But if they don't understand men, they can easily still get a boyfriend, still get a guy to take them seriously, still get a guy to take them. A girl can just sit there silent at a club, and a guy will come in and introduce himself and do all the work, whereas she won't have to say much. So women have this privilege where they don't have to understand men to attract them, but we absolutely must understand them to attract them.
How do you feel about this statement? Women are born with value, whereas men have to work for it.
Oh, I say it every day on my podcast, man. That's 100% true. Men are born with no value, and they have to level up to gain that value, versus women are born with the value. It's their job to just preserve it and not mess it up. So, this is why I don't feel sorry for women that like end up 30 plus with no man, because I look at women as almost like, so women are trust fund babies, men are self-made millionaires. When a man is born, he has no value. He's got to go and get it out the mud, right? And if he works his ass off, he ends up becoming that self-made millionaire, whether literally or figuratively you want to say it. But with the women, once they turn 18, they have that access to that equity immediately, that $1 million. So if a woman gets to 30 years old plus and she hasn't found a man and cashed out with that $1 million, it's her fault because she's given the value up front. So the problem with a lot of modern day women is they want to play the game. They want to go in a casino, they want to gamble, have fun, wait till the casino is going to close at 6 a.m., it's 5:55 a.m., and they don't have a guy yet, and they haven't cashed out yet, and they're like, oh, what do I do? And then they're going to hit a Hail Mary, and the reality is most of you aren't. So what ends up happening is they have to consolidate on the best person in the casino. A lot of times it's not their first choice. So that's why you see a lot of these women walking around here where they're with a guy they don't really like that much, but he fulfills some of their check boxes. Divorce comes, or maybe they're catty to him, or they treat him like shit. And the problem is because women don't consolidate and find their best guy when they have the most value, when they're in their youth. They want to find a guy after they've done their career, after they've ride around the cock carousel and been sluts, and then they're not able to find a guy, and they look at it like, oh my God, men are trash. No, you're trash because you didn't find the guy when you're at your highest value.
What's the best way a woman can get a man to commit to her?
By being an asset versus being a liability. Most women are liabilities, if we're going to be honest here. They come in, they take, don't necessarily give. And it's more than just like, cooking and cleaning and, the stuff that should come standard nowadays, which a lot of these women don't do. It's about coming in and enhancing what he has going on. And the problem with a lot of women is they come in and they just figure out how to take things, but they don't really know how to add value, right? So like, let's say you got a guy, right? And you know that he does a certain type of business, right? And he likes to have his coffee at a certain time of the day, or he likes to have certain things set up in a certain way. Like, do it. Don't have him ask you for it. Like, kind of come in, have that critical thinking skill set to be able to be like, okay, I can make his life easier here. I can accentuate this here. Come in and figure it out and get it done. You know what I mean? If you do that without him even asking, that's going to go crazy. And then another thing that women could do is give gifts. A lot of women don't give gifts. And the thing is that when you give a guy a gift, and it's got to be heartfelt. It doesn't have to be expensive, anything. It's the thought that counts. Men appreciate gifts a lot because we never get them, right? Men never get gifts. Men never get compliments. Men never really get validation from women like that unless you're like a top tier guy. So when guys get these things, we remember and we appreciate it, most importantly. Women, they get gifts. It doesn't matter to them because they get it all the time. But when you get it as a guy, you're going to appreciate it. So when a girl finds that guy, come in, fill the void that he has, give him gifts. Doesn't have to be expensive. It could just be like a card. It could be something simple that you make yourself. Trust me, you'll remember that shit forever.
Do you believe that men can cheat on women that they love?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Why is that the case for you?
Because men and women are different. So, men, for us, sex is a physical act, nothing else, right? But for women, not only is sex a physical act, but it's also an emotional one. If a woman is truly in love with a man, she can't go fuck another guy. She can't do it. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. If a woman truly loves her man, all other men are invisible to her, right? But with men, right, you can have the hottest girl ever, the best girl ever, you're still going to want to have sex with other women. If anything, this is going to sound crazy, but if I hook up with another girl, it makes me appreciate my girlfriend even more. So I'm like, God damn, this bitch is useless outside of sex. Like, you'll fuck the girl and you'll be like, oh my God, why is she even here? Get the fuck out of here. And it makes me appreciate my girlfriend even more. Versus like with a chick, if she go fucks another guy, it's a wrap for you, bro. A woman can't serve two masters. As much as they try to sit there and say that they're equal to you and they're like us, they're really not. Women are not like men whatsoever, especially when it comes to sex. They need to be with a guy that they feel is the best that they can get, and they want to consolidate on that guy and only give sexual access to that guy. Versus us, we're totally okay with giving our sexual access to a bunch of women. However, we will not give our love and and our care and our protection to any woman. So it's very different. Her job is to be loyal to you sexually. Your job is to be loyal to her with your resources and with protection. You're not going to put your life on the line for any bitch.
So as long as the man is maintaining a strong emotional relationship with his woman and taking care of things at home, it's acceptable for him to step out.
Absolutely. I mean, look, if you're religious, right, you're Christian, you're Jewish, and infidelity is a thing that's not allowed, right? And in Islam, you can have multiple wives, but if you're a religious guy and you don't want to do it, fine. That's fine. Do what you got to do. But I'm talking strictly from a biological sense here. Men are absolutely capable of stepping out on their woman sexually and coming back like nothing happened. Versus women are not able to do that. They can't. The only women I've ever seen do that are raging sluts that you don't want in the first place. But healthy women that aren't 304s cannot do it.